What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United are back in action in the Premier League. Matchday 33 up against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. 8 p.m. kickoff tomorrow and manager is Liam Rossini. So Liam Rossini on the 6th of January 2026 of this year was appointed as the new head coach of Chelsea on a six and a half year deal. He started working with the squad after their league match against Fulham on the 7th of January, and in his first match in charge he led Chelsea to a 5-1 away win over Charlton Athletic in the third round of the FA Cup, and this made him the first Chelsea manager to win their opening match in charge since Antonio Conte in 2016. So he did have, I think Liam Rossini got off to a decent start under Chelsea as Chelsea manager, but recently results have kind of tailed off and he's not been doing as well lately. But in terms of earlier on in the season, Man United did win against Chelsea 2-1 at Old Trafford. Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea keeper, and Casemiro both got sent off that game, but goals from Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro gave Man United the victory, despite a late goal by Chalobah for Chelsea. So in terms of some match facts for this match anyway, Chelsea have lost just one of their last 12 Premier League home games against Manchester United, winning 6 and drawing 5, and are looking to win 3 in a row against them at Stamford Bridge for the first time since April 2006. Following their 2-1 win in September, Manchester United are looking to complete the Premier League double over Chelsea for just the second time after the 2019-20 campaign, and Chelsea versus Manchester United has been drawn more often than other fixture in the has been drawn more often than other fixtures in the Premier League in history, with 27. Just 7 of those 27 draws have been 0-0, also making it the fixture with the most score draws in the competition with 20. And since the start of the match, no side in Europe's Big 5 leagues has lost more games in all competitions than Chelsea, coming into the weekend's game 6 in 9. They've lost their previous 6 defeats came over a period of 26 games. In that period they won 15, drew 8, and then they lost the remaining 6. So in terms of recent form for Chelsea, it's not looking too great in terms of the Premier League. I think they did beat so they lost to City. They lost to City 3-0. They lost to Everton 3-0 as well. That was they lost to City at home 3-0. They lost to Everton away from home 3-0, and then they lost to Newcastle 1-0, and then they beat Villa away from home at Villa Park 4-1, which was a good victory for them, but they lost to Arsenal before that as well 2-1. So not really decent form coming into Premier League form anyway. In terms of the FA Cup, they did manage to beat Port Vale 7-0 in the FA Cup quarterfinals. Before that, to get past Port Vale, they had to beat Wrexham 4-2 in the FA Cup 5th round as well. But in terms of the Champions League, they didn't have a good performance against PSG in the round of 16. PSG beat them 5-2 at the Parc des Princes, and then Chelsea lost 3-0 at Stamford Bridge against PSG, and they lost on an aggregate score of 8-2. So not really looking good for Chelsea in terms of recent form. Obviously being knocked out the Champions League and not good league form at the moment. In terms of some Chelsea team news, Chelsea are without Mudryk, who is suspended. Levi Colwill, Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, and Jamie Gittins are all out injured, and Jorgensen is doubtful for the game as well. So they've got a couple of injuries, but nothing they can't really cope with, because they have got a big squad at the end of the day. So in terms of my Chelsea starting 11, this is how I think Chelsea are going to be lining up. Sanchez in net, Gusto, Fofana, Hato and Cucurella making up the back 4. Santos and Caicedo making up the 2 in midfield. Estevao, Palmer and Neto making up the 3 in behind João Pedro. So how do Chelsea like to play in terms of attacking? With possession, they like to form a 3-2-5 attacking structure. Normally starts in a 4-2-3-1, but morphs into a 3-2-5 when building attacks. One fullback tucks into the back 3 to make a back 3. The double pivot sits ahead, and the front 5 occupy all lanes. Then number 2, they like to use a double pivot for control. 2 deeper midfielders stay close and compact rather than splitting wide, and the purpose for this is to protect transitions and recycle possession quickly. Number 3, central overloads via a number 10, so advanced playmaker like Cole Palmer pushes between the lines, creates a box midfield and central superiority in build-up. Number 4, aggressive attacking intent. Rossini explicitly prioritizes express yourselves and attacking play over reactive football. The team looks to dominate with the ball rather than sit off. And number 5, wide isolation plus front 5 spacing. So the front line stretches into 5 lanes. Wingers isolate the fullbacks, and this encourages 1v1s and cutbacks rather than slow crossing. So that's how they like to play in possession with the ball. In terms of defending without possession, he likes to use a 4-2-3-1 shape or a 4-4-2 shape as well. Defensive shape is more traditional and compact. And the attacking 3-2-5 with the possession collapses back into a structured block. Compact double pivot shielding defense. 2 midfielders sit tight in front of the back line. The aim is to protect central zones and reduce gaps. Mid to high pressing intent. Not purely passive. Rossini prefers to engage and win the ball high when possible. Press triggers often come from central areas. Number 4, discipline, structure plus emphasis. Discipline plus structural emphasis. So strong emphasis on reducing fouls, red cards, and chaos in defensive phases. This reflects in public insistence on control and accountability. And finally, adaptive defensive shape. So flexible, can shift to a back 4 or a situational back 5 as well. And also shows game specific tweaks as well. So different they use different set piece defending as well. But yeah, in terms of defending, that's how they like to defend. In terms of Chelsea star man, I'm gonna have to say it's João Pedro. He's scored 14 goals and provided 5 assists in the Premier League so far. He's I'm not sure where he is in terms of the ranks for the top scorer. Let me just take a look, but he is a really deadly finisher in front of goal. I think we have to be kind of looking out for him in terms of keeping him quiet. If we are to keep João Pedro quiet, then I think that we are going to be having a decent game in terms of possibly even keeping a clean sheet, because I think we should be keeping a clean sheet against a team like Chelsea, because they aren't necessarily they haven't been great defensively, so to speak. In terms of top goal scorers, Erling Haaland is away with 21. Erling Haaland has 22 goals in the Premier League. Igor Thiago has 21. Semenyo has 15, and then João Pedro is here on 14. So he's looking good in terms of goal scoring. So if we can keep him quiet, it would be really beneficial for us to be coming away with a good performance and possibly all 3 points. In terms of Man United, to speak about United a little bit, we are coming away with a disappointing 2-1 loss to Leeds at home. So it was a fast start by Leeds as well. They came out aggressive, scored early, catching Man United really cold. We struggled to control the midfield. Leeds' intensity disrupted build-up, forcing turnovers and rushed passing. Leeds doubled their lead on the transition as well. A quick counter-attack exposed United's defensive gaps. A late response from United. We did manage to pull one back, but we lacked cutting edge in the box. And of course, number 5, finally, Lisandro Martinez did pick up a red card for tugging on Calvert-Lewin's hair, and he got sent off. So it is what it is, unfortunately. A really poor performance. I think we played better with the 10 men, but we need to be doing better against Leeds. They're bottom half of the league, struggling to kind of fighting relegation almost. So I think that win kind of almost cements them for Premier League survival. We'll take a look at the league table in just a moment, but wasn't a good performance by Man United. In terms of United team news, Martinez, De Ligt, Dogu are out. Of course, with injuries, Maguire and Martinez and Lisandro Martinez are suspended. So this is my Manchester United lineup. So Lemens in net, of course. Dalot coming back in for Mazraoui. I don't think Mazraoui had an amazing game against Leeds. I think he started. I'm not sure. I don't remember now. I think he did start against Leeds. Let me just make sure that is the case, because I don't want to be getting this wrong. Let me just check. So yeah, Mazraoui did start against Leeds, but he was bought off in the 70th minute for Dalot. So yeah, Mazraoui, don't think he had an amazing game against Leeds, but I'm expecting Dalot to be starting. So I'm expecting Dalot to be starting against Chelsea. Then I've gone with Euro and Heaven as the centre-back pairing, simply because of the injuries that we have to delay and the suspensions that we have to Maguire and Lisandro Martinez. And then, of course, Shaw at left back. So the back four, Euro and Heaven, really, really young centre-backs, combined age of 39 or something. So, but, I think they've shown that they can be playing for Man United in terms of the future. And I think they are really good, young, promising players that we need to be taking care of. Then Casemiro, Menu in the central defensive midfield positions. Front three of Mbumo, Bruno Fernandes and Cunha. I think Mbumo didn't start against Leeds, so I'm expecting him to come back in. Then Sesko up front finally. In terms of United star man, I'm going to say is Bruno Fernandes again. So far, Bruno Fernandes has 17 league assists, which is really good. So he's a couple of assists away from making competition history by possibly overtaking Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne, who are on 20 assists. In the Premier League. So yeah, in a single season, of course. So how do you beat Chelsea? Number one, exploit the transitions quickly. So attack fast when Chelsea lose the ball, especially in the space behind their advanced fullbacks. Number two, disrupt Chelsea's build-up. So press the double pivot aggressively to stop them settling into their 3-2-5 structure. I think PSG in the Champions League showed that Chelsea can be pressed at as well. So that would be a really good kind of key factor if we can high press Chelsea as well. Number three, win the midfield duels. So stay compact centrally and prevent Chelsea's number 10 from finding space between the lines. Number four, target wide areas defensively, so force Chelsea out wide, then defend crosses rather than allowing central combinations. Number five, be clinical in key moments, so take chances effectively and efficiently. So games like this are often decided by big moments, and if we score early as well, which is another point, I think the crowd at Stamford Bridge are going to be getting on the back of them. It's going to be really nervous for them. They're going to get really annoyed if we do score early. So that's another kind of incentive that we have to go for. Scoring early would take the game away from Chelsea, and that would mean that Chelsea needs to open up more, leave space on the counter-attack for us to exploit. And then with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo, we can definitely exploit the space that Chelsea leave in behind. That is, of course, if we score in the first half. Let's say if we score in the first 10-20 minutes, I think that Chelsea are going to have to come out of their shell, leave more gaps in the break, and that would be more beneficial for us because, we're a decent counter-attacking side. So hopefully that can happen. Hopefully we can come away with the win. In terms of the league table, let's take a quick look at the league table before we head off. So Man United are in third, of course. Chelsea are in sixth position. They are obviously 4 points away from top five. Obviously, fifth position now qualifies you for the Champions League as well. But Chelsea are not in a good run of form right now in terms of the Premier League. Lost against Newcastle at home, lost to Everton away from home, and then lost to City at home as well. So they're not in a good run of form right now. I think we should be beating Chelsea, to be honest with you. If we do beat Chelsea, we would move to 58 points, still in third position, but we need to be kind of getting away from Chelsea, getting away from 6th position and 7th position as well. We need to be securing our Champions League space. I think a draw would be a decent result as well because Chelsea aren't going to be necessarily making up ground on Man United on us. So a draw would be a decent result as well. But obviously, I want us to win. I'm looking to be getting the 3 points, and hopefully we can. We need to be getting back on form. I think Michael Carrick has done a decent job so far, but he's had a couple of troublesome results. That loss to Newcastle wasn't a good one. That draw to Bournemouth away from home, even wasn't great either. Even though Maguire got sent off in that Newcastle game, Newcastle went down to 10 men and we weren't able to capitalise, unfortunately. And then that poor loss to Leeds at home when Lisandro Martinez got sent off, and a really poor performance at home against Leeds, who are 15th in the league, with 36 points, possibly in a relegation battle, but they are looking to be getting away. Really funny if Tottenham Hotspur do get relegated this season. But it is what it is. Hopefully we can come away with the win. Hopefully we can come away with the 3 points and get back on track in terms of getting some wins on the board and finishing the season strongly. Of course, finishing in the Champions League spaces, which is what we really want. But yeah, I'm going for a 2-0 Man United win, feeling a little bit confident because of Chelsea's recent run of form. Going for Bruno Fernandes and Benjamin Sesko to grab both the goals. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.